Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Amigos YouTube channel. This is Cheney 180. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends X-Men 3-pack with Jubilee, Storm, and Forge from the wonderful Uncanny X-Men 275. So, very excited to get this pack in. Can't wait to get my grubby paws on the next one. Alright, first out the gate, we're going to check out Jubilee here. So, we do have the Marvel Legends Teenage Body here for females. This is a fairly old buck, but we've got, pinless knees and same old single hinge elbows, unfortunately. There's a couple things that they could have worked on here. But one thing that's really awesome about this figure is these paint apps on this face. That is just killer. That came out very, very nice. Very, very happy with that. Wish we would have got a new head sculpt with like smiling features or whatnot. That would have been really cool too. But you do get two different face sculpts here. And as you can see, the paint apps are great on this one too. This digital way that they've been utilizing the paint apps is really, really cool. So I'm really digging that. You also get two of these effect pieces. They still haven't quite, tackled the fireworks effects that, Jubilee has. That's just a tough one to do in plastic form. And you also get Jubilee's splayed out hands to, utilize her fireworks effects. But let's go ahead and jump into articulation here and see what's going on. So the head is on a ball peg here with a hinge, so she can look up all the way with no issues. Look down, you get a little bit of pivot there, so that's pretty good. The arms go all the way around here, comes up about that high. You get a rotation here at the elbow, about that far. You get a hinge and swivel here for the fists, so you do get the fist hands, which is cool. Now the torso articulation here, I'm not very fond of. You get little to no ab crunch there. That's very unfortunate. You get back some, and then very minimum. I mean, it basically works as a swivel joint. I'm going to go ahead and try to pop this apart and Dremel that out a little bit so I can get a little bit more range. The belt is a loose piece, but it's very tight on there, so it's not going anywhere. And then also for the neck piece here, they added this extra little collar piece in here for the suit, which is cool. Let's pop that back on there. So legs go up about that far, and you really got to push it in there, but you do have that thigh swivel to kind of straighten it out a little bit, but it does leave a little mark there, unfortunately. You get double hinge knees, got great motion there. You got a thigh swivel, as mentioned before. No boot cut on Jubilee, unfortunately. You get a hinge, and you get an ankle rocker there. So overall, I mean, it's great to have Jubilee in this, very iconic costume here, which is cool. If you're a 90s X-Men fan like myself, you probably dig this. Alright, let's do some size comparisons here. We've got the Build-A-Figure Jubilee from many moons ago right here, followed by the Caliban Wave Jubilee there. The paint apps on both those heads is really, really rough, so there is that. And then we have the animated Jubilee, where the paint apps are much better, looks good. And then we've got Wolverine in the same suit there. Alright, so if you wanted to swap the heads on these, you can put the animated head on this body and it will work. It's the same ball peg and vice versa, so you can utilize the Jubilee head sculpts on this one on the animated body. Other thing that is cool here is you could take the animated glasses that came with the Jubilee from the animated one, VHS one, and put it on this head to give it like a, I guess, comic-y kind of look, which looks really cool. So that is cool. And you can use the other animated pair if you like. One thing I forgot to mention here is I do like how clear the bubble is for the bubble gum there. That is pretty cool. As I mentioned before, the effects here, they're just quite not cutting it for me, but it's still cool either way. All right, next up we got Forge here. We've got a whole new body for him. We use the same head with new paint applications here, and we get this this silly gun that came with, I think it was like Nuke or whatnot. I'm gonna have to find some kind of gun to swap that out. It doesn't quite fit there either. One thing that I did notice right off the bat is the arms won't go down to the sides with these, with this like holster. So let's try and pull this off here. All right, so with the holster off there, I don't even know if that's the right word for it. You can get his arms down, which is pretty nice. The funny thing is, like, you've got this improved paint application here with the face, but he looks sadder than the original version. Like, he looks so sad. I don't know why he looks so sad. It's horrible. But you do get the butterflies here, which is nice. We've got a new sculpt on the leg here to show his cyborg thigh there. So let's go ahead and get into the articulation here. All right, so Forge comes with 2 swap out hands. So basically you get 2 sets of hands and this silly gun here. But let's go ahead and get in the articulation. He has a hinge on a ball joint there at the head that can look down that far. Can look up pretty good considering he's got like a ponytail and bandana and whatnot. So that is pretty cool. The arms go all the way around there. There's a butterfly joint there that seems to get a little bit prohibited here by this holster, which is unfortunate, but it is there. Arms go up about that high. You've got a bicep swivel, double hinge elbow, hinge and swivel at the wrist there. You've got a nice deep ab crunch in there, so that looks good. Goes back about that far. You got a waist swivel there, and the belt just kind of stays where it's supposed to go. So that's cool, you know. The legs go out about that far. They go forward that far, back about that far. You've got a thigh swivel in there on both sides, and then the way they did that here, right by these straps, is perfect. Looking good. You got a double hinge knee. It goes back up there all the way, which is really good. You got a boot cut here as well, which is, you know, right here by these straps as well on the boot, which looks good. You've got a hinge and an ankle pivot there, which is very, very nice. So definitely a much needed improvement to the Forge that we had before. And speaking of the Forge we had before, we've got the more orangey kind of color yellow here with the darker blues, and then the new Forge here. I thought he looked sad before, but no, this new Forge, he looks much, much sadder than this Forge. Like, he actually looks like he's kind of, you know, just doughy face, like, okay, cool. But this guy, he looks sad. He looks sad and heartbroken. I don't know. But, you know, here's a comparison. Due to how bulky this gun is, it's really hard to get him to hold it with both hands, as you can see here. The finger is stretching. It's just pretty complicated unless you pull this up here. Then you can get it to work, but I don't think people usually shoot guns like that. I could be mistaken. Usually you want that end like right around there, or kind of tucked under there like that. But as you can see, we're stretching. Good thing that they put the correct articulation there in the wrist, but yeah. Right, next up we got Storm. Storm comes with 3 sets of hands, which is cool. So you get these cool lightning effect hands here, which are pretty neat. You get 2 fist hands. And then you get 2 open splayed out hands, as you can see there. So the body on this is cool. We've got new body here. We've got a bicep swivel there on a female body with double hinge elbows, and everything is pinless. Forgot to mention that Forge also has pinless elbows and knees and all that. But let's go ahead and check out Storm here. So as you can see, the paint apps here, if we can get this to focus right, look very nice. As you can see here, looks good. Everything's painted very nice. The only issue I have with this is how high this head sits and where the ball sits on it. So it makes articulation a little bit wonky on here. Like this head sits way high. Like look at all that gap in between there. That's wild. All right, so Storm looks up really far, which is cool because she flies. So that's awesome. She looks down very far too. Like, I don't know, maybe this is just my copy. Maybe another, someone else's, it won't be so high, but I don't know. There's something about that neck that just bugs me. The arms go up that high, which is cool. Go all the way around, no issues. Bicep swivel, which is nice. Double hinge elbows all the way up. Look at that. That's great. Got hinge and swivels on the hands there. You've got this upper torso articulation here. Goes forward that much, goes back that far, goes side to side and all the way around. Looks good. The belt here does seem to ride sometimes, but it pretty much stays in place. Like you could push it up, but then you could push it down too. So the legs are going to go up that high, which is nice. Go out that far, which is good. Back, not so much. You got a thigh swivel right here, which they could have probably put that in right there, but You got double hinge knees, which go back really far. No boot swivel here on Storm either, so Jubilee and Storm don't get that. You get a hinge and ankle pivot here, which is cool. So yeah, definitely a upgrade in articulation from what we are used to with Marvel Legends. So that is really cool. So I wanted to mention from the Marvel Legends Siren figure, since these are new hands, they do pop in there. Looks really good. So if you want to do that, the colors match enough to where you could pull that off. Also, those pegs do fit in the Jubilee figure as well. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons here. Here we have this Jubilee Build-A-Figure Wave Storm. And then we have the Retro Card Storm here, which looks good. And lastly, we have the 80s punk looking Storm, and then Wolverine in the same suit. All right, overall last thoughts here. You know me, I'm a big X-Men guy. I'm a big 90s X-Men guy, so I'm happy to get these. I do wish that Jubilee had some more articulation, maybe a new head sculpt. That would have been cool. Storm's neck kind of bugs me a little bit, but I've been finding ways to finagle around it. I do like the interchangeability of some things. I like how all the colors match here to create the team that we're going for here. I've got to find a new gun for Forge, but overall, I do like this set. I do like it, and I'm highly anticipating the next one. So thanks for checking this out, guys. Please hit thumbs up, share with your friends, let them know what's up. Check out the podcast, Chat Migos Assemble on Tuesdays. They're Not Dolls on Thursdays. And take it easy, guys.